everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about how I became a great student. And I did not start off that way. There's definitely an evolution, and there is a moment at which it hit. So I'm just going to tell this as a from beginning to end story. Take what you will, because everybody has their own learning style, and that is very important to figure out. So starting in high school, I've always been the type of student that just memorizes everything. Concepts are hard for me to get. And so I was very lucky in high school. My parents could afford a tutor for me. This tutor came like almost every day. Oh my God. He was a Stanford grad, and he really took pride in his job. Like, I'm forever thankful for this tutor. He was like, honestly, he was like one of my best friends near the end. Like, I spent so much time with him. So he would come and we would stay up all night just studying. And he totally understood what was wrong with me. Like, he'd always kind of like, Joyce, you can't just memorize to get through school. You have to understand concepts. So he would just open up the book from chapter 1 and explain concepts to me to the point where I would understand. And yeah, I was just really lucky to have him. So he was a big part of me doing well in high school. And basically when I went to college, he couldn't come with me. So he did not come with me. And I struggled those first few months of college. Like, I did, because basically the way that I had learned how to study in high school and the way that I was doing well in high school could not come with me to college, and I had to figure out how to do it myself. So I experimented with a lot of different things. I had a roommate at one point. Actually, she's one of my really good friends. Her name is Michelle. She was my college roommate. She would just cram all night and then take the test, and we were in the same chemistry course. So I tried doing that and I totally bombed the test. I literally had an F. I think I had a C in chemistry, and I was like, oh my God, like I had never had a C before. So I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna make it into dental school if I have a C. And I went to this chemistry teacher's office hours, and I was just like, I don't understand. Like, I've never had problems getting good grades before. I was just like, why? There must be a secret. There must be a secret to passing these exams. But so yeah, I went to the office hours with Dr. Rodriguez. I totally remember him, because whether he knows it or not, he totally changed my life. He really changed my course as a student. I talked to him, I was like, I don't understand why I'm not doing well in this class. Like, almost like I'm blaming him. This class, when I'm not a bad student, I've never had trouble. He was basically like, Joyce, science is a discipline. You get out what you put in. You're not putting in the time. And yeah, when he said that, that really changed my life. It's so weird how different people or different things people say, it resonates with you in different ways, right? Like, he probably doesn't know what an effect he had on me, but just that sentence spoke to me, because I pride myself in having discipline. Like, I was doing 2-a-day workouts at the time. Like, I've always been athletically and fitness oriented, and I would pride myself in being able to wake up, go to the gym, and eat very strict and do all these things. And yet, in my life goals, I did not apply the same discipline. And when he said that to me, when he said that I'm not doing well, and he can tell why I'm not doing well, he didn't sympathize and go, oh, maybe next time you'll do better. I know that you're studying. No, he straight up said, I know you're studying, but you're not studying hard enough. You need to do more. Oh my God, this man can tell how much I'm studying. Like, whatever I'm doing is not flying. I need to do better. So from that day on, like, I really took his words and I applied myself. I studied that book. Before every class, I outlined the chapters. I came to the class awake, determined, and I studied. And afterwards, I'd rewrite my notes. And this applied not just in chemistry, but in bio, genetics, in all these classes. I also, like I said in another video, math is not my strong suit, and chemistry is a lot of math, so is physics. So I actually had to ask for help, you know? I had to ask for help. I had friends who were very good at chemistry, and I literally would sit with them while they studied, and they would help me. Like, thank you, people. You know, you gotta know when to ask for help. If you can't afford a tutor, you have to have friends that know, and you need to not have so much pride, you need to ask for help. But chemistry is one of those courses where I knew I needed to ask for help. And in the end, I think I pulled up my grade to a B, which is pretty good. Which is pretty good considering that I had a pretty bad couple of exams where I bombed it. So in the beginning, I started off really rough. I tried out those learning styles like cramming for an exam. It didn't work for me. I'm a tortoise, not a hare. And I realized I absorb things better in small little daily pieces where I consistently just repeat. Repetition is very important for me. And when I started doing that and started really taking things seriously, you guys have no idea. I became a psychotically amazing student. In like bio classes, in very high science classes, I got to the point where I was psychotic. Like, I'm not joking. They would post grades on how people did on the exam, and I would look and I'd be like, where's my score? And I'd look to see if I did the best in the class or if anyone did better. And if anyone did better, I'd be like, how did they do better than me? Like, I put in the time, I studied. So I got to that point where I studied so hard and I just did a little bit every day. I put in the work, you know. There's times when I wanted to go out with my friends, and instead I would stay home and outline the chapter and get ready for the week. It's like meal prep. Meal prepping, man, it's like the same principles apply to every area of your life. And so basically I would outline everything, go to the class, and because I outlined everything, I would be able to take notes like crazy, like notes. And one thing that I really love is having a million different colors of pens and highlighting and writing things in different fonts. And yeah, I think that's a very like Asian baby girl thing to do, but it really helps. Like it really helps to have aesthetically pleasing notes. I would look at my notes like they were gold. I'd be like, look at my notes. They're so beautiful. And I would be so proud of my notes. I would share them. I'd be like, do you want to see my notes? Does anyone want my notes? Does anyone want my notes? Like, they're gold. So I would take the notes during class, and then when I would come home, I would rewrite everything in my pretty colors and fonts and stuff, so it could sink into this little brain of mine. And then, as I was going through the notes, if I didn't understand anything, I would take a highlighter, I would circle it, and I would have a list of 10 things and go to every single office hours of my professors with 10 questions that I didn't know. Psycho, right? I'm psycho. I don't think that people take advantage of office hours as much as they should. Office hours, you just go, and that professor, the guy who's writing the exam, is sitting there willing and able to answer all your questions. So if there's anything that I didn't understand, 10 questions every time. Go to office hours, I would ask him, and I would get it straight from the horse's mouth. Then I would put a little star, and it would also sink in better because he's explaining it to me. And that's the type of learning style that I actually have, is I need to be able to write things in slow format, and then visually I can remember. Like sometimes when I was taking a test, I would visually remember where I had that note and the way that it was written. So I'm more of a photo person. Like, I'm more of a visual learner, and by writing it out, it would sink into my brain. The other part of being a visual learner is that I'm a person-to-person learner. That's why when I was in high school, the tutor really helped me because he was explaining things to me. The office hours really helped me because we were basically having conversation about the things that I don't understand. And when people speak to me, that's when I understand things. I have a really hard time learning from books, which is unfortunate, right? Because back in the day when I was a student, there were not a lot of videos, and there were not a lot, it was all book-based or like PDF-based on Blackboard, so you had to learn a lot through just written word, and I'm a visual person. So that's how I learned, and yeah, I kicked ass. Eventually, I just kicked ass in college. Like, I was I'm proud to say that I was a freaking superb student. Then I went to dental school. And dental school is different because dental school is half didactic, half lab, right? So didactic courses, like I was saying in one of my other videos, if you haven't checked it out, I'll link it right here. It's a lot of studying, like anatomy and things that I had taken, so I knew how to do that. I would just carry over my same study skills, and I did that. But as time went on, the classes went to overdrive. If you went to UOP, you know, some semesters there's 16 classes. There was 16 classes in one semester. It was impossible to do the same sort of thing that I was doing in college. I just didn't have the time. It's not humanly possible to do well in everything if you're overscheduled. It was also like really tiring. Like, I'd find that when I was in lecture sometimes I couldn't even stay awake because I was so tired and so drained. And maybe an accelerated course was not the best for my learning style, but I made it work. And so if for those people who are asking asking if UOP is too accelerated. It may be too accelerated for you if you're the same learning style as me, but you can make it work. So I hope you guys like this video. I know that some of you might have been like watching for actual tips on how you guys should study, but it's very impossible for me to tell you how to be the best student because it's individual for every single person. And I hope that makes sense, but this is how I became the best student. I don't think that I'm the smartest person in the world. I don't think that I am the brightest. I do think I'm pretty smart, but I'm not the smartest, and I'm not the brightest. But I have the most discipline, and I work freaking hard. I'm a hard worker. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, turn on your notifications bell, and also leave me a comment. Leave me a comment on what your study style is. I would love to interact with you.